Hello, and welcome to the Responsive Family Sleep Podcast. I'm your host, Kim Hawley, holistic sleep coach, lactation consultant, peaceful parenting educator, and mom. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the conflicting sleep info, frustrated with sleep information that just plain felt wrong, or searched desperately for a truly gentle and responsive sleep approach, then you are in the right place. In each episode, we'll be answering your most pressing baby and toddler sleep questions, busting those sleep myths, and helping you understand truly developmental, biologically normal baby and toddler sleep, plus encouraging you to trust your intuition along the way. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. I am really excited for this week's topic, and we are talking about when babies are sick. So this comes up all the time, this time of year, throughout the winter. I mean, frankly, I had so many families whose kiddos were really back-to-back sick this summer. It was kind of wild. So I am really excited to be talking about this today and to be having Dr. J, a pediatrician, on to share her wisdom, because I can only speak to the sickness as a mom. Let's get, the expert insight. So, Jay, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Kim. It is such a pleasure being in community with other women who are working really hard to make our communities healthier and happier for everyone. So it's always a pleasure to talk to you. You know, I love sending patients to you.
I love it. So why don't you share a little bit about your practice before we hop in, because it's really a wonderful resource for folks in the DC area, and I think a really cool, innovative way to get your pediatric care.
So my patients call me Dr. J. I have wanted to be a doctor since I was like 3 or 4. My parents kind of think it was around that time.
Wow.
And if you know anything about basketball, Julius Irving was Dr. J. So my dad has been calling me Dr. J since I was like 3. So like,
Oh,
all throughout, and I am a daddy's girl, so it means the world to me.
that.
I, went into medicine because number one, I saw how people were treating my grandparents who were my beloveds. Like, I am a granny's girl. I loved my grandma, but I just remember how like flippant people were, how dismissive people were of her when I would like go to
Mhm.
her appointments. And I remember this flip when she would tell people, "Oh, my granddaughter's becoming a doctor," they would get nicer to her. And I just thought, like, that is not right. That is not fair. That is not cool at all. And then I started reading a lot of the literature, around health disparities, around discrimination in medicine,
Mhm.
implicit bias and explicit bias. And I'm reading all this in high school because I want to be a doctor. And I'm just like, I got to do something about this. Like, everyone deserves doctors who take the time, care about them, work with them. So
Mhm.
I went to public health school before going to medical school. I focused on health promotion. I was very, 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 I've always been interested in designing things that help people. Maybe it's not like run of the mill, maybe it's not classic in the sense of like Western medicine, but like what is going to help us, right? And so I got a lot of experience working in different environments, and I just got frustrated with like being told, no, you can't do this innovative thing. No, you can't text with your patients. That's not how we do things. No, you can't do house calls. That's not how we do things. And I'm just like, but these are the things that people need. Like, what do you mean I can't do them? And then even when I would give people statistics like, here, all these reports show that things are getting worse for people in America. Let's try something different. All my bosses were like, no. So finally, I opened my own practice. I just started out of a little corner of my closet. I would take my house call bag. I had done a few house calls in residency for really medically complex kids. And I was like, everyone deserves this. Like, we should all be able to get this, right? My midwives and my doulas would do like my home care for me. We had 2 home births. And I was like, people deserve their pediatrician to come to them or to be in a really comfortable home-based environment. So that was 7 years ago almost. I've been doing pediatrics and lactation medicine for 14 years. I have a 14-year-old. Got really interested in lactation medicine when he was a baby. And then launched my practice in 2019 and have not looked back. I am like, I refuse to do medicine in the way that I used to have to do it. Like, seeing, like, I would have 40 patients on my schedule for the day. Like, what can you do with 40 patients? Like, you cannot safely see 40 people. I would feel like I'd gotten run over by a bus. I now see no more than 5 patients a day. We converted our garage into an office. So, like, this is where I get to be. My patients get to walk through my garden and come to my office. I
I
still
love
see
that.
90%. Yeah, it's wonderful. 90% of my patients I still see in their homes, but 10% come to me. And so I just, I've been really blessed to be able to like move in the season of life that I'm in, right? Like when my babies are little, like I see less patients. Now that my kids are getting big, like I'm starting to like coach women. You know what I mean? Like it's like all the seasons of life, like we get to use our skills and do what we need for our family. So that is a very long story of how I became a lactation medicine doc, a pediatrician, and a coach. And it gives my heart so much joy that I get to do these things for my community.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And you're right. Like, ugh, the insanity of our healthcare system, that is a whole different podcast episode.
I will come back. We can talk about it. You know, I love reading everything about like international health and American health. So I would love to
Yes.
come back and talk
Oh
all
my
about
goodness.
it. Hmm.
But for today, let's talk about when babies and toddlers are sick, right? Because I feel like that's one of the most frustrating things when, like my clients, the families I work with, they've reached out, they're ready to make some gentle changes around sleep, and then boom, right? We got a sick kiddo. And, I generally work with my families long enough that we can navigate this. It's not going to derail our plans in the big picture, but it's frustrating and it's hard. And so I thought we could just start with like what to expect, like different ways your kiddo being sick can impact sleep. Because I know I see a whole range. And so I'm sure you have things that you see right from the pediatrician side of things.
Yeah, yeah. So before I do that, I do just want to applaud you for being a gentle sleep coach. I feel like a lot
Thank
of
you.
us, like we are like, I'm not doing the like 4 hours of cry it out because it hurts me to hear my kid crying like that. I know it works for some families. It doesn't work for mine, and it doesn't work for most of my families in my practice. So I
Hmm.
really appreciate that, like everything that you have shared with my patients and you've shared with me is like age appropriate, right? And developmentally
Yeah.
appropriate. Like that is
Right.
so
Thank
important.
you. It
Yes.
is.
I
It
just
is.
I just want
One
to
day the industry will change. That is my hope. One
will
one
it?
day.
I don't know. I feel
I
like
don't know. I don't know either. Sometimes it feels hopeless, but it's my hope.
yes. Okay. We will hope. We will continue to hope. But yes, kids get sick, right? Like they get sick. I think especially during COVID, everyone was like, I don't want them to get sick. And it's like, we cannot stop it. Like they will
Hmm.
get sick. A lot of our evidence shows that kids, especially toddlers and younger children, get sick every single month. So once a month, every 4 weeks. Like I like break that down for parents. Once every single month, they may get a fever, they may get a rash, they may sneeze, they may cough, they may get diarrhea. Like those are the things that I see the most:
Hmm.
fever, rash, stuffy runny nose, cough, diarrhea, stomach upset, vomiting. Like those are the top illnesses amongst kids. They get sick. Most of the time, we support them with rest. Like, what do you need when you don't feel good? Like I remind parents because they're like, oh, I put him in a cool bath and put a cool rag. I'm like, how would you feel if you are shivering and then someone puts a cold rag or puts you in a cold bath? I'm
Oh
like,
man, no, no.
I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not what we're gonna do. And then parents are like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, what do you like? When you don't feel good, you want to be in your bed, you want to snuggle, you want to watch Netflix and chill, you want some warm things to drink, you want pain reliever, and you want people to just like leave you alone unless they're snuggling you. And I'm like,
Hmm.
that is it. That is it. That is it. Like you just support their little immune systems. Most of the time, most kids do need like a saline rinse. So not just the saline mist. My patients know if you ask them what is the number one thing Dr. J is going to say, she is going to say, you have to get all of that mucus out. It's sitting up in their sinuses, it
Hmm.
all the way out. Those little squirt bottles, the nasal rinse bottles. I'm not talking about the spray. I am talking about full snot all the way through. The snot should shoot into a sink or into a bathtub or somewhere. You should be able to see the snot. because otherwise it's just in there and it's just irritating things and then
Yeah.
gagging on it. So that's usually the main thing. And I always talk to patients about like red flags, like, right? Like, when do you need to call me? So first of all, with my practice, I'm like, just send me a text message as soon as they get sick, because
Hmm.
I can ask a few questions. We can have a really good plan so that we can prevent you from going to the emergency room or urgent care, right? Like, I want kids to go where they need to go, but usually it's no one suction their nose. No
Hmm.
one's giving them, if they're older, honey or tea. No one's giving them fever reliever. And that's what sends you, to the emergency room, because now they're like really looking sick. They haven't drank anything. So it's the basics. It's clean out the sinuses if they've got a stuffy nose. If they've got a cough, like do like a steam shower, like old school, like what our grandmas used to do, like, I'm taking you in the bathroom, I'm closing the door, I'm putting the towel underneath the door, and I'm just
Hmm.
gonna let this steam work its way, around. Um, and that's, my mommies who breastfeed, I'm like, give them all the breast milk, squirt the breast milk up in their nose, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, do all the things with the breast milk and then just stay connected. Like, this is when the bra comes off. This is when you're literally with that baby, holding that baby, put the baby in a baby carrier, wrap them up, let them feel comforted, and just sit up with them for a few days. Unfortunately, it's like
Yeah.
it completely disrupts sleep. It completely disrupts, everything. But like, they don't feel good. They just want to feel you close. And
Yeah. I feel
yeah.
like congestion is so hard at this age because we don't have a lot of tools and we can't when I'm congested, I find all the pillows and I prop myself up to sleep. And it's like the only way to do that with a really little kid is you to be the prop, right? Like you propping them up with your body. And so it's so much more labor intensive and they don't understand why they can't breathe. And it's so miserable to
And then you
be.
want to lay them on their back, and it's just like, but you can't breathe on your back when you're sick.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's got to be, up. And again, like, around the world, babies are in baby carriers for most of their first year of life. And I'm just like, y'all, there's a reason. Like, there's a reason
Hmm.
why they're in that. Yeah. And I didn't talk about like sleep and like diarrhea and vomiting.
Oh, that's miserable.
That is a tough one. So I just want to remind people that hand sanitizer does not work for any of the GI bugs. So
Oh,
like,
that's a good one.
yeah, it does not work. The capsules around the GI bugs protect them from any kind of hand sanitizer. So it's literally washing, rubbing, pushing all of the viral particles like off of your hands.
Hmm.
It's just tough. Talk to your pediatrician. I usually recommend really good probiotics just so you can repopulate the gut. Lots and lots and lots of liquids. If you're breastfeeding, again, we want all the breast milk. If you're formula feeding, we want all the formula. We don't want you stopping those things. Sometimes parents are like, I'm going to stop the dairy. Well, where's the baby getting the fat and the protein from? That
Yeah. Yeah.
got to keep it going. And the big kids, just supporting them. And again, it's let them lay down, like, put some towels down because they're probably going to puke all over the place. And then just like be there next to them, when they wake up and you pat their back and they go back to sleep. Mhm.
When my daughter was 6 months old and she's my younger one, we
Mhm.
all got this god awful stomach bug and it like went through the house. And I just remember sitting, I don't know, on the couch with like this pile of like layers of towels. And she would just nurse and then throw up and then nurse and then throw up. We just like peel another layer of towels off.
Oh, little baby.
And it was just like ridiculous. And my mom um, is a nurse, and she was just like, "That's what I did with you when you were a kid. Like when you were little, just like the pile of layer towels, just peel it off, and then eventually you'll go get more towels. But like, don't just put one down. You're just gonna have to get up again."
Put multiple. Yep. But that those are the basics. And
Hmm.
again, it's like watching out for the red flags. Like, is the baby not peeing and poop? Like, well, mostly not peeing, right? Like, is the baby's mouth starting to look dry on the inside, not the lips? Our lips kind of always look dry when we're sick. Is the baby's fontanelle sunken down? And it's usually just flat, but now it's sunken. Is their urine turning really dark, or are they not peeing at all? Is it if they have like a respiratory illness, do they have difficulty breathing and rapid breathing? Because those are the things I see that on a telemedicine visit, and I'm like, Kim, take them to the emergency room. Like, go,
Hmm.
go, 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 because
Hmm.
that's when they do need some additional support that they can only get like in an emergency room.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like with my clients, it's like just managing that, like it's gonna suck, right? Like when they're sick, you just have to kind of get through it. The sleep's gonna be a mess, their schedule's gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
Especially if they're congested or have digestive upset, they're gonna sleep is gonna be really disrupted. Like sometimes if they just have a fever, they might sleep a lot, you know?
Everything.
Um, but like we're just going to be off track and just kind of have to wait till this kiddo is feeling better before you can expect anything, realistic as far as their normal schedule, or if you're working on making a change or something like that. It's like, no, no, no. Like you got to get through, you got to get through to your feeling that till they're feeling better, and
And then if
just,
you get sick too on top of it, then
oh,
you have to wait until you feel better.
exactly. Exactly. Because you can't make changes when you feel awful. It's not possible. I think we have these expectations that like it's not going to happen, or like there's some magic formula to make it be less disruptive, and I find it just, I mean, it's just disruptive, you
Yeah.
know?
And I think like what you're saying is like our job a lot of times as like parent coaches is letting people know like this will suck, but this too shall pass.
Hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
mhm.
And I love what you were saying with like just being with them, holding them, propping them up, the skin to skin, the nursing, like the bottle feeding with love, and like all that, just like that is actually what you're supposed to be doing,
Mhm. And
you
that's
know?
simple.
So I'm sure the answer is going to be washing hands, but beyond that, any like, what do you tell your patients this time of year for like, how do we prevent the germs, especially with like littles heading into daycare for the first time? This time of year, ugh, it's just so many germs.
It is, it is. So I call myself a holistic pediatrician because I'm always going back to like healthy routines,
Hmm.
healthy nutrition, good sleep, lots of water, lots of rest. Like it's just that is the foundation, right? And
Hmm.
so like if kids, for example, sometimes I'll have kids that are in like four different activities, like a 5-year-old that's in four different activities and every night getting home late. And I'm like, I'm tired listening to this schedule. And this is the schedule you're
Yes.
putting this baby through because you think this is what you need to do to get this baby into college, even though it's a 5-year-old. Like, okay, hold on. I'm like, hold on. They have to rest. They have to have good sleep. They have to eat good food, as good as, as good food as you can. Everybody
Right.
is busy. I get it. They can't eat McDonald's every day. You know what I mean? Like they just can't eat McDonald's every day. So I always go back to prevention is like holistic. It is not one thing. It is
I love
not,
that.
oh, they take this vitamin and they'll be all good. Oh, they take this sea moss and they'll be all good. Give the vitamins, give the sea moss, give the elderberry, give the, kombucha, give what you want. But if their sleep sucks, they're going to be more susceptible to getting sick. So just trying to keep their routine as I guess age and developmentally appropriate as possible, I think is number one.
Mm.
I think, for most of my families in my practice, they get flu shots, they get COVID vaccines, they're fully vaccinated. That is the best science we have. I know that in our current landscape, there may be controversy with some people about that, but like the science is set, y'all. Like it's
Hmm.
the best we have. Is it perfect? No. Does it, have risks and complications? Every single thing does. You know what I mean?
Yep.
From
Yep.
the cold medicine to the Tylenol to the ibuprofen. But we all, as parents, as community members, are trying to do the best we can for these kids.
Yeah.
So I get my flu shot every year. My kids get their flu shot every year.
Mhm.
Like it's what we do. Is it, will we still get the flu? We might, but we haven't in the last few years, thankfully. I'm gonna knock on some wood. And that's really it. That's the hand washing. It's making sure that like your community is good. Oh, that makes me think of so there were a few outbreaks in a few schools last year of like things like pinworms and stuff. And what we found out was the schools did not have enough funding for enough soap. So the bathrooms literally didn't have soap for the kids to wash their hands
Oh
after they
my
use the
God.
bathroom. So of
That's
course you're gonna have a pinworm outbreak.
that's horrible.
I wrote letters last year to like several schools being like, y'all, it is imperative that you have hand soap in the
Yes.
bathrooms. There's no way to prevent outbreaks if you don't have adequate hand soap and towels.
Oh
And
my
like,
God.
like this is America. So making sure our communities have the resources that they need, like super
Hmm.
important. You got to have, hand sanitizer. Like I mentioned, like the GI bugs, the hand sanitizer does not work. So yes, you may have hand sanitizer in the bathroom, but guess what, y'all? It is ineffective in like getting rid of those GI bugs. And so those are kind of my go-tos for preventing. I'm fine with vitamins. I'm fine with, sea moss and elderberry and what else? Echinacea, vitamin C.
Mm.
A lot of families swear by them. I feel like we get them in our house and then we run out and I forget to order them again. So it's, you know what I mean? Like I go back to the basics of like everybody's getting good sleep around here.
Yeah.
Everybody's drinking lots of water. We eat a ton of soup this time of year, like filling
Yum.
things. And that's just, that's what we do and that's what I recommend for my families.
And I think I just want to highlight there that like all of these things apply to the parents, right? Because like sometimes we're going to get our kids germs, sure. But like keeping your immune system as strong as possible is going to help you get less sick when you know, baby who's in daycare for the first time is absolutely going to get sick, right? Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so, I find sometimes we focus so much on the littles that we forget that we're actually supposed to take care of our own immune system too.
Yeah, so important.
Um, I personally, whenever my kids get sick, am big on the vitamin C and zinc. It is like I get so much less sick now whenever they're sick that I'm just like, let's get some extra vitamin C and let's get some extra zinc and take it. And I body fights off their germs so much better than it used to. And I mean, obviously they're bigger now, so they're not getting sick quite as much, but
What formulation do you like? Do you like the packets that people put like in their water, or do you like a pill, a chewable? What do you like?
oh, swallow. I don't do things in my water. I can't. I mean, I'm a runner and I can't even do like the sports stuff, like electrolytes in my water. It's all gross to me. So I'm like, give me my 2000 milligrams of vitamin C. Give me my whatever of zinc, the zinc capsule is like, I'll take it morning and evening. Like I'll whatever. I don't want to chew it. I don't want to taste it. I don't want to drink it. I
Just give
want
it
it in
to
my food, but if I'm taking it as a supplement, I want to swallow it. Be done with it.
Yeah. I need to, I've like we have a 5, 7, and 14-year-old, and I just feel like this season, like I need to step it up a little bit. So I'm like, okay, like maybe just go ahead and order like extra of everything just to have it sitting in the house.
Yeah.
But I do like the emergency. I don't mind drinking it. I actually like the taste of vitamin C. So I do take emergency sometimes. We do
Mm.
a lot of ginger. We do a ton of honey. We do a ton of like lemon.
I say
Um,
ginger, honey, lemon tea.
I drink it this is lemon water. I have hot lemon water. Like I'm drinking lemon water all day long.
I am a little bit obsessed with the honey lemon ginger tea from Le Pain Quotidien, and or as we call it in my house, LPQ. So I was there with a friend of mine having coffee yesterday, and I was like, I'm getting one of these honey lemon ginger teas to come home with me because it'll
Mm,
make me very happy.
sounds good. I will try that. I get it from where's the last place I had it from? They like shave the ginger and it is
Mm.
so every time I go to the Korean spa. I try to go to
Ah,
the Korean spa at least like
nice.
a few times a year, and they make this delicious like honey ginger lemon drink, and they put hot water into it. But it's like the
Mm,
slices of the ginger, like they use one of the I don't know what those things are called, but they like shave it. Oh, so good.
yum. Yeah, I love tea this time of year. I love tea when I'm sick. I feel like it helps me like I'm like a coffee person 100%. But when I'm like sick or when it's like late at night and I'm teaching, I'm like, give me the non-caffeinated tea, like the naturally non-caffeinated, like rooibos or something like that. And it's just so soothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Like my daughter, so actually a lot of patients really love tea. Like whenever I'll tell my patients give your child some tea, they're like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that." And I'm like, "Yeah, try it." And then they're like, "Dr. J, she loves tea." I'm like, "I know it." They feel like adults and you make it nice and sweet and they don't even know that they're getting all the good things their bodies need. And they love it.
what age? That's a good question. What age would you suggest? Like, how young would you give a little tea?
So I have given tea, like a 100% chamomile tea to like infants, right? Like little itty bitty babies,
Mm-hmm.
like a just a 15 milliliter squirt, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Chamomile tea is very soothing. So I've had, 3-month-olds I've had take a little tea if they had a stuffy nose. Now, there's no honey, there's no lemon. This is 100% organic chamomile tea, y'all. Simple. But that can work for colic. It can work for, like gripe water, like that gripe water. So many of them, it's like chamomile, fennel. I think some of them have like, what's the other ingredient that I saw recently? I think it's mostly chamomile and fennel that I see in the
Mm-hmm.
gripe water and stuff. So yeah, babies as young as like 2, 3 months. The older kids, they definitely go more towards like the chamomile. And then once they're a year old, and like add honey to it, add just a little bit of ginger to it. There
Mm.
are a lot of studies that show that the ginger and the chamomile like have like actual like respiratory relaxing properties.
Oh, really? I didn't know
And
that.
also like bowel relaxing properties. So it works really well. hmm And that's the
How
only
relaxing. So
safe.
would that be good for constipation then? Like,
So yeah, it doesn't, I don't see it have that effect on constipation, but
okay.
it can decrease like crampiness if I ever have to give kids something for constipation.
Mm.
It helps with the crampiness. One of my favorite GI doctors recommended it and sent me a study about it, how like chamomile has bowel relaxing. I was gonna mention the honey part. Because we didn't explicitly talk about it, but honey
Mm.
is not safe for children under the age of 1
Yes.
because of the little spores that are in it. Have I ever seen any kids become like flaccid? They have flaccid paralysis from spores in honey? Never. Do I know any other doctors who have seen it? I don't think anybody that I know has told me that they have seen that, but it's a theoretical risk, and I guess it happened in enough kids that were like, don't give kids honey under the age of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get over 1, between the ages of 1 and 7, honey is the only thing that is safe. They should not be getting cough medicine. Like it is just honey, organic, unpasteurized, raw honey. That is the only thing that is safe for 1 to 7 year olds.
Mm-hmm.
It has been shown to work better than cough medicine. And also, it's safe, right? Like you're not going to overdose on honey, but you could overdose on, that cough and cold medicine that you got from the pharmacy because you're sleep deprived and you forgot that you just gave it to them an hour ago and now you've given it to them again and now they're like not waking up because like they have overdosed on this medicine.
Yeah.
So yeah, between 1 and 7 it is all honey, and then 7 and above I'm like any kind of over the counter cough medicines that parents want, but I'm like still please give them the honey, please give them the tea as well.
My kids love that. I have not actually tried tea with them, but honey, when their throat's feeling all raw, they're coughing a lot, they like now they'll ask for it because they've done it, so much with them. And then they like it because we have yummy like local honey and it's good and it makes
Mm,
them happy. It's like a little treat when you're sick.
it's so good.
It's also soothing.
I love it too. My other favorite honey is Trader Joe's has this like clover. It's like thick almost like a pudding.
Mm,
It is the best tasting honey. My kids, I have to like we have to put it high in the cabinet because the 14-year-old will literally just like
grab
get
it.
spoonfuls and eat it. And we're like, where did the honey go? And he's like, it's gone. Just, dude, you cannot eat all the honey. But it's
Oh,
so good. In this time of year, I agree with you. Like it's so soothing and it tastes good and it makes you warm and feel great.
yeah. Oh, goodness. Kind of wrapping things up.
Mm.
Anything we didn't cover when you're thinking about littles being sick this time of year that you think parents should have on their mind? Thinking how to navigate
Don't
this.
forget to like keep them home when they don't feel good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know everybody wants to like not miss work and they want to go to school and they want to keep them in daycare. But y'all, when they don't feel good, keep them home, please. Please, 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 because it's just going to infect another child and then that whole family is affected. So like when they don't feel good, I'm like, keep them home. So many times I'll get a parent that'll like call me on a Thursday and it'll be like, hey, Dr. J, she's still sick. She's been sick all week. And I'm like, okay, you guys have been home all week? No, I sent her to school every single day. And I'm like, ooh. maybe we can decrease the amount of time that they're not feeling good if we keep them home. You know what I mean? So maybe instead of being home for 4 days, maybe they'll be home for 2 because you just let them rest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But again, we do not want them spreading germs all over their daycares and schools. And some of that is like caring about community, right? Like you and I are part of community. You are, when you are a parent and your child is in school, they're a part of community. And you don't want, to give it to someone whose grandma has like an who's immunocompromised. You don't want them to give it to their little brother who's a NICU graduate who, like, if he gets it, he's going back to the intensive care unit because there's, he can't rebound from this. So, I think, unfortunately, here in our country, there has been this shift since COVID into like just what happens to my family. And it's like, y'all, we are community. Like we have to watch out for each other. And you are actually safer and more healthy when I am watching out for you and you are watching out for me, and it goes vice versa, right? Like we are all better when we think of each other as community. So I always remind my patients that, and they're just like, I know. And I'm like, I'll write you a note. Like I will write you whatever you need, but just you and this baby stay at home and just rest.
I love that emphasis because so much about health is community. Like we're so hyper individualistic in this country, but health is not an individualistic thing. It is so much a community thing. And I just love that, remembering that like it ripples out. Like there are people who are immunocompromised, there are NICU babies, there are like, we don't need to pass our germs all over the place. And I mean, we do it unknowingly because you're contagious before you're sick, but once we're sick, we can keep those germs to ourselves as much as possible.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Why don't, as we kind of wrap up, share where folks can find you? And I know you have a newish, it's new in the last year, right? Newborn course, and share a little bit about that.
Yes, of course. So, before we got on our call, you and I were talking just about like my season of life, and my season of life is like, I have been doing this for so long and I just have so much information and so many skills and so many resources like in my brain. It's like, how do you share that with the most people? And so my patients had continuously, like, they just kept asking, like, Dr. J, like, how can my sister who lives in California, or how can my friend like hear the things that you do? And I'm like, I don't know. They can't. So my team really encouraged me to just like record several courses this summer. So we recorded a newborn foundational course. I have been so deeply committed to newborns and expecting families for a long time, partly because of, this infant and maternal mortality epidemic that we have in this country. And I am like, if I can give people as many foundational points of education, points of support in the beginning, so it just helps them have a healthier life, I've been really committed to that. And so we did a newborn course where we talk about safe and gentle sleep, where we talk about rest, where we talk about international standards. There are demonstrations, baby wearing. I love baby wearing.
Me too.
I love it. We love it. Our community loves it. Talking about like belly binding for mommies and rest so that they don't have problems and so that they have support. So our newborn essentials course, we have that on our website. And then I also do a lot of work with other women who are in healthcare and wellness businesses. And so the other course is called Finding Harmony in Your Practice. And it's really about like not trying to hustle, but like trying to flow and trying to like serve your community. And I want especially women business owners to, have joyful businesses, profitable businesses, scalable businesses, and sustainable businesses. So both of those courses are on my website, healthyhomepediatrics.com. And then I do have a new website for my coaching, which is harmonyinpractice.org, but everything is linked on healthyhomepediatrics.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was such a lovely conversation. I feel like we haven't had a chance to like really chat in a while. And so this was just like such a lovely treat just personally as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope this episode left you feeling more informed, confident, and encouraged on your sleep journey. And just a reminder before you go that nothing in this episode is individualized to your specific sleep situation, nor is it to be taken as medical advice. Take what resonates, ignore what doesn't, and check with your healthcare provider about any medical concerns. Take a moment to subscribe to this podcast so that you'll never miss an episode. And take a moment to rate, review, or share an episode you love on social media. All of that helps parents just like you find me, this podcast, and this gentle and responsive sleep information. I'll see you next time.